The stock market is down in 2026 because of the geopolitical tensions in the Middle East right now, the war between Iran, Israel, and United States. And as a result, S&P 500 is down 9% from its all-time high, and Nasdaq is down 11% from its all-time high, and a lot of individual stocks are in correction zone. Now, what does that mean for traders? It means heavy volatility and lots of opportunities. So what does it also mean? It means as a trader, you need to be prepared for the market and for this volatility. So in this video, I will go over all the economic events and all the earnings for the week ahead, and I will go over the overall market, S&P 500, Nasdaq, and several individual names so that you can get ready, have all the levels for yourself, and then get ready for the trading week, which starts on Monday, and it's going to be a short week because Friday the market is closed. Now let's get started with the economic events. We have Fed Chair Powell speaking at 10:30 on Monday, March 30th. And then on Tuesday, we have JOLTS job opening. And on Wednesday, we have a couple of red folder economic events from 8:15 till 10 a.m., which are going to be pretty important for the overall market. On Thursday, we have unemployment claims, and then on Friday, basically the market is closed. On the earnings side, we do have a couple of earnings like BYD and Nike that are going to be probably important for lots of traders to focus on. Other than that, I don't see any other major ticker to focus on. Now, let's start with the overall market. What is happening right now on S&P 500? As you can see on the weekly chart of S&P 500, we broke below this very important demand zone in the previous week, and we went below the 50 SMA on the weekly chart. On daily chart, a very important event happened. We went below the 200 SMA on daily chart, this yellow line, and we rejected it and dropped. This was a heavy sell-off in the last 2 days in the market, which resulted in S&P 500 ETF being traded right around this 633 zone. Now, this is a very important area right now. This is technically a demand zone almost right around this 630-ish zone. Now, if the price hit this level, expect some sort of pullback, especially after this massive sell-off. Now, what I expect is a possible pullback to this area of 640, 642. And I look forward to see whether the sellers can hold this 640, 42 ish zone or not. If they can hold this zone, then we're probably gonna see another leg down on SPY. All right. Now, the very important zone on SPY would be right around this 610, which is going to be critical zone. Now, if the price hit these areas, this can be a great opportunity for long-term investments. If you have your portfolio and if it's down, probably right around these areas, it would be a really great area to dollar cost average. Now, it doesn't mean that the price cannot go lower, but technically, based on the technicals, this is a very, very good area to focus on buying S&P 500. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Everything is just for educational purposes only. Qs. Let's talk about QQQ. The same as SPY, except we are in the correction zone on the Qs right now, and we had the same sort of price action. We rejected this 593 zone, which was the 200 SMA on Qs as well. After that rejection in the last 2 days, we had a massive sell-off on QQQ. We are right at this demand zone. Again, I am expecting some sort of pullback probably in the next couple of days. If that happens, I am expecting some sort of hold here. Now, what I'm saying, I'm expecting it doesn't mean that I can predict or I do predict. It just means that this is my game plan. I am looking forward to see whether sellers can hold below this 573, 575 or not. If they do hold, then that would be a great opportunity for this momentum to continue. If not, then we will plan for that trade for a possible reversal, depending on the geopolitical news and the catalysts. We'll plan accordingly. All right, so we're right now holding right around this 560 on Qs, and seems like we are bouncing. We'll see if we do bounce or not. If we do bounce, then this 570, 75 on watch. If we break below this zone, then we have right around this 550 as the next major demand zone on QQQ. All right. Now, some other names that I like to watch would be USO, which is United States Oil Fund. You can check out WTI as well to check out the basically crude oil price, which is just going to the moon technically because of the whole tensions in the Middle East and Strait of Hormuz. And if the conflicts continue within the next couple of weeks, probably oil price can go higher and or at least stay above or around this $100 zone, which is a very, very very important phenomenon, and it can have some crazy future effects on the potential recession and on the overall continuation of this whole market crash. The Dow Jones is also down. For those who like to trade Dow Jones, we are right at this 450 demand zone, which probably is a very important area. And if we do bounce above this level again, I am watching probably right around this, maybe 460 all the way up till 466. Now we are this is a very, very important demand zone right around this 450. If we do break below this zone, then we can really go down, at least down till like 440, depending on the catalysts. Everything is very macro sensitive right now. Every volatility that we are seeing, the sell-off or the bounces heavily depends on the results of the war. So it's going to be really hard to predict anything, like always in the market. But we are supposed to plan as traders and trade according to that plan. Okay. And BTC, if you want to focus on Bitcoin as well, you can see that we just hit this like 60 zone, which is a crazy area on BTC. We are down like 50% from the tops, and this is a massive demand zone. Now, I'm not trading crypto, pretty much never traded crypto, but if you want to hold long term, this would be a great opportunity to buy crypto names like probably Bitcoin that I'm focusing on right now for long term. Again, it's not financial advice, it's just technically this is a very, very important demand zone on BTC. If you wanna focus on it, do your own research on that. Let's talk about some individual stocks. Apple is holding really well right above its 200 SMA on the daily chart. This is an important demand zone. If we do break below this 244, 245, we can go down all the way down till probably right around this 240-ish, or like maybe 235. If we hold here and basically break out above this 259, 260, then to the upside we have some great opportunities on Apple. Tesla looks really good in my opinion. We did hold below the 200 SMA here on Tesla, right, like the overall market, and like SPY, like QQQ, and then we sold off with the whole market, which was a very clean setup in the last few days on Tesla. Now we are right at this demand zone on Tesla, around this 358, 360. If we do break that, we can go down till 340-ish area on Tesla. Probably we have this 340, 350-ish area as another layer of demand. Again, with the whole market, since we are pretty much at this 357, if the market bounce back up, probably a lot of these names that I am going to talk about will bounce back up with Tesla as well. So expect to see that and prepare for that. Now for that, if that happens, I am watching this 345 all the way up till 380-ish area on watch on Tesla for a possible hold. NVIDIA, in my opinion, is one of the greatest setups in the whole market. As I explained, like the whole market, we retested 200 SMA and rejected that heavily. That happened, and NVIDIA broke below this 170 zone on Friday. This was a very important zone that got broken, and so far we are holding pretty strong. Depending on the pre-market price action, we'll see. If we do hold right below this 170, probably NVIDIA will give us some great opportunities to the downside. Now just keep that in mind, that right around this 165-ish area we do have another demand zone. Now we're very close to that. For a possible continuation, keep this level in mind, 164.5 on NVIDIA. Let's talk about Google. Google did sell off heavily. This important demand zone of like 272, 270 is right below where it is trading right now. And since we had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive red days in a row on Google, having a sort of a pullback is not something crazy. So it's possible to see a pullback. If that happens, 290 would be the area that I am watching for a possible hold by sellers. Now, if we do continue the sell-off to the downside, probably right below these 270, 272, 260, 23 would be the next important zone on Google to keep it on watch. Amazon, after its earning, it was just like stuck right around this 200 till 213, 14, and it's just like consolidating right there. For Amazon, if it gets below this 200, 196.7, then that would be probably interesting. Other than that, if it stays in this range, not really a fan of trading Amazon. AMD just bounced above its 200 SMA, and it so far held the demand. Now we do have a gap here on AMD, as you can see, that we were not able to fill it for months now. Now if we do break and basically drop below this 188, 187, we do have a gap down till 171, which can be really interesting for AMD. So far, we're far from there, but if that happens, just keep that in mind. It seems like AMD is holding 200 SMA really well, at least for now, but if it does break down, keep it in watch. On the other hand, if we do break above this 220, it would be really interesting for upside move. Now, for that to happen, we need the market to bounce back up as well. Meta had some great setups in the last 2 days. I did trade Meta on Thursday, which was an amazing setup, and we are down like heavily, and this volatility was pretty crazy as well. There was a lawsuit against Meta on Google last week, and because of that, we saw this massive sell-off. And the whole macro catalysts also added fuel to this whole drop. Now we are right around this 520. We already had a pretty crazy sell-off on Meta. Again, having a pullback is not something crazy to expect. Like, we can't just drop or just go up in the whole market. We need to have a breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, right? We need to have a lower low and a lower high, probably right around, maybe anywhere around these areas on Meta. Now, the first area to watch would be around this 575, 80. Obviously, trading Meta to the downside. Now, if we don't have any other new crazy news or macro event or any news about the war or like a catalyst for Meta, if we don't have that, if we just want to analyze the raw price action, we probably want to wait for a possible pullback, and it doesn't make sense to go short here after this massive sell-off. Now, if something else happens, we do see a news or hear news about the war or Meta itself, then okay, yeah, we can continue the sell-off probably. But so far, just analyzing the technicals, this is a massive zone right now around this 520. We did have a massive sell-off on Meta, so I'm looking forward to see a sort of a pullback here right around this 570 till 570, 580 ish on Meta, and then analyze it for the next possible leg to the downside if the market sells off. Microsoft also sold off with the whole market. We are right around this demand zone on Microsoft as well after like a couple of days, 7-8 red days on Microsoft. We gapped down and continued the sell-off with the whole market. So if again we do have a catalyst or a reason on the macro side or a geopolitical side that pushes the whole market to the downside, keep that in mind that we do have a demand right around this 340, 42.3. If we break below it or gap down below it, then we can plan for a possible continuation or a gap fill setup. But if we hold here and we don't have any major to watch, probably a possible bounce might happen as well. PLTR was holding really well right around this 149, 150. It held for a while, but in the last 2-3 days with the whole market, it did drop, which was another great setup on PLTR. We are right at this zone of 140. If we break below this area, we can hit 135, and then finally the major demand of 130, 128 would be on watch on PLTR. If we do bounce above this zone, I am looking forward to see a possible hold around this 148 for a possible continuation to the downside on PLTR. MU was holding really well for so long, right above this 360-ish area. Finally, seems like we are trying to break below this zone. Now, we did have multiple red days in a row, and for now seems like we are rejecting this 360-ish area. If this continues to the downside right below this 346, MU could be an interesting name to watch right below this area, right? If that happens, we have room down till 333 as a main demand zone, and then finally we can go down till right around this 310-ish zone on MU. Remember, the market is very volatile in these days, and you can see that by analyzing VIX here as well. VIX is right around 30, which is way above its normal number, and VIX is basically a fear factor or volatility index in the market. When VIX goes up, the fear in the market is high, and as a result, the market is dropping. Now, in this volatile environment, you want to be educated and you want to exactly know what you're doing. If you do not have a trading plan, you shouldn't trade. If you do not know how to analyze the technicals, the fundamentals, and merge them together to have a realistic trading plan for yourself and trade based on your strategy, you're gonna lose probably. If you do not have a trading strategy, you shouldn't even trade. So make sure you are educated and you're prepared for this market. Don't panic sell if you are an investor, and if you have your long-term investment portfolio, you can scale in and do dollar cost averaging, because the market showed that in long run it will always go higher. But this short-term volatility is a very, very, very unique time for traders to take advantage of this market, make money, profit, and then reinvest it in the market, so that when the market goes up, they can take advantage of the price increment with the whole market, and with investing their money that they made from trading. So if you don't know again how to trade, please make sure you do not risk your hard-earned money. Educate yourself, understand how the market works, have a trading system, have a trading strategy, make sure the strategy works, and then trade. What a lot of people do is that they just hear something about trading, they just click on buy and sell, and they think with just clicking buy and sell they are traders, and they lose a lot of money without knowing why, and without ever figuring it out. They just disappear, and they just lose their money and give their money to the market. Instead of that, trade smart. Start from educating yourself, understanding the market, and then trade smartly. All right. So inside Meta Trading Club, we trade every single day with the community. We start from the pre-market, we analyze the market, the fundamentals, the technicals, the overall market, individual names. We post game plans and get ready before the market opens. When the market opens, we trade together, analyze the setups in real time, and trade together with the community, and then finally analyze the trades and everything with the members. Do webinars so that everyone can have a clear understanding of why we enter a setup, why we exit a setup, what's the whole thought process behind entering, exiting, what's the risk management plan, and how to prepare for the next trading day. Okay, with that being said, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. If you if you have any questions, make sure you comment below and I will answer all of your questions. Make sure also you check out metatradingclub.com as well if you want to learn more about us. All right. Thank you. See you guys in the next one.